Greetings and welcome to Growth Hacking Show. I'm your host, Muhammad Siddique. And today we have a guest president of Boise Investor Group, Kevin Carroll. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, Kevin Carroll. Kevin, welcome.
Hi, welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who you were surrounded with that inspired you to get into real estate investing?
Sure. So I've been in real estate for 12 years, since 2008, and I moved to Boise and started working at Keller Williams Realty, and then soon after started my own real estate office, Idaho River Realty. We've sold 1,000 bank-owned properties in Boise throughout the last downturn,
No.
and during that time we started flipping houses. For our family and friends, and buying them at trustee sales, anything, places like that. And a lot of the bank loans we couldn't buy because we were listing them, but we helped other people buy them and sell them and flip them. And eventually, um, I flipped 100 houses across the country in different states with friends. So done a bunch of house flipping, owned some rentals, help other people do the same. And yeah, so we've been doing this a long time, and the Boise market has, I'm sure we'll talk about that, but it's doing something very unique right now. So
Mhm. So you mentioned, Kevin, that you started in 2008. That was a very interesting time to start something into real estate. Everybody was running away.
yeah, the market was going straight down, and I decided to jump right in. So, but the only thing that was selling, Boise was 50% distress sales, so short sales and bank loans. It's the only thing that was selling. So I hate short sales. They should call them long sales. But the the bank loan process, I really enjoy working on a business to business relationship. I jumped right in, started traveling with um, the Elite Real Estate Network, ERN, and we would go to banks and meet them at their offices, at their headquarters, at their conferences, and just figure out what the asset managers needed and the vendor managers and help them. And that was how we got to work with those banks. And there's no bank loans to speak of right now in Boise, but they may be coming back.
Yeah, you never know. We live in an interesting time right now, so you don't know how it will look like in next 6 months or from now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So based on your experience of working almost 12 years plus in real estate, done 1,000 plus transactions, so we may ask you some questions. What are your
Yeah.
top success strategies to create a success for yourself and real estate? People who are watching this, they can kind of talk
Yeah.
about it.
So part of, everything changes. So every time you have it figured out, it's going to change.
Mhm.
And I, when I was started, I looked around the market and I said, what's happening right here? And bank loans were the only thing that were happening. And so I figured out how to specialize and dive deep into one specific avenue. And that was a great ride. And then the banks are pushing a bunch of default across the country in this little niche. And I found out how it was working and everything. And I specialized in that little niche. And I bought and sold 100 house flips across the country with some partners. And I got into like a little niche, and I, you know, uh, maximized that niche, right? And so then recently, we've been flipping houses in Boise and the surrounding areas, and I brought it all kind of more hyper local, where my crews are here and I can do less projects and make more profit. And I started to network with all the wholesalers in town and see where all the distressed properties are coming in. And then now, being the president or the managing member of Boise Investor Group, I'm right in the thick of it. So as we see these properties push through, now have an opportunity to buy them. Um, and then, so still picking a specific niche, right? Of like, I don't sell $1 million houses on the hill. I buy the stinky bank owns or the stinky houses that are totally thrashed. I fix them up and I sell them. So I'm building a class right now, how to flip a house in 15 days. I just finished one in Mountain Home that had full renovation, and I did it in 15 days, and I video recorded the entire thing. So I'm going to be able to, I'll have that available soon so people can learn. So
15 days?
I did it. I renovated it in 15 days, full renovation, windows, doors, HVAC, plumbing, kitchen, bathroom, everything. 15 days.
Is that like a 24/7 operation?
No, we even took 2 Sundays off during the middle of it. So I have really good crews, and I've been working with these guys for 10 years. And I got in there and I did the windows myself, and we just worked together really good and just cranked on it until it's done.
So let's expand on that a little and how to get it done in 15 days. Just give us some
Yeah. So so I have a couple different crews. So the first crew is like my grub out crew. And so they came in and took 8 loads of garbage to the dump on the first 2 days, tore out the bathroom, the kitchen, all the debris, raked the yard, cleaned everything, strip everything down. So for the first 3 days, they do that, and then they paint the inside of the house. Then they leave. Then the plumber went underneath the house for 3 days. Well, me and my main contractor started to put the house back together. So we replaced the doors and the windows, and then all the interior doors, and then started to put the kitchen and bathroom back together while the HVAC guy was there installing a new HVAC system. And then also the electrician was there rewiring the house. So he took the power down for a day. We just ran a generator so we could stay working. Rewired it, put a whole new kitchen in. And so we would, go to Home Depot in the morning. The first day we had 7 carts worth of stuff and loaded it all up and took it in and put it in the house and put it back together. And my main contractor is like a man of many hats. So him and I just put the house back together ourselves. So I have that in full detail. So if you're interested in that, maybe you can put a note or something. I don't have a class. I have it all together, but I don't have it on a site yet, but it'll be available soon. So reach out to me because I'd love to have, some of your people give me some feedback on that.
Definitely. Happy to. So Kevin, how the numbers look like? What you bought in, how much, the numbers look like?
Yeah, so I paid $82,000 for that house, and I bought it from a wholesaler, and I'm not afraid to pay a wholesaler. Like, they have a job to do, right? And so I paid them quite substantial amount of money, but I bought it at 82, and that number worked for me. And then I put 35 in it, and we sold it for 165. So I think we're going to make 40,000 after all fees and everything. That's a nice, for me, it's an entry level starter, 3-bed, 1-bath, no car garage, but it ended up getting a VA loan. It's in a little town called Mountain Home, which has a lot of military folks in it. And it's a nice starter house. We put brand new everything so that the new homeowner doesn't have any, problems for years to come. So
okay, wonderful.
That's a nice base hit. Yeah, and if I could find them, I would do 2 of those a month. But the problem right now is finding them. In Boise, we have 3 weeks of inventory in our market. So that's, since the pandemic happened, people are coming here to our little Boise town in droves. I have 3 new neighbors. 2 are from Washington and 1's from California, like within 6 houses of my personal house. Like, we have California plates, Washington plates, Oregon plates across this entire town. Like, people are just coming here like more than normal, and it's pushing our inventory down even lower. Yeah, there's literally 450 active houses in our whole county right now, and there's almost 2,000 pending houses. So we have 2-3 weeks of inventory. Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, cool. So Kevin, you have been doing this so long. You've done over 1,000, short sales, which are not really short. Why I call it short? Because it takes the longest time to close that deal.
Yeah.
So based on your whole experience, I want you to share one thing, which is like your single most professional failure in the real estate investing. What did you learn from that, and how did you recover from that failure?
Okay. I would say during the last downturn, I didn't have the financial backing personally to buy as many houses as I should have. And I would say I would be retired now if I had. And I should have bought 20 houses back then, and I didn't. And I just didn't. I didn't have the. I have 5 rentals, but I should have 30 right now, and I didn't. I didn't know that, and we're well past the point where anything cash flows here in Boise. There's no way. And so I think for me that was the biggest thing. I think is that not seeing, like not having enough experience to know like I should be buying more of these, and I knew it, but I just didn't act on it as much as I should have. So that's probably the biggest thing that I wish I would have done. The biggest mistake, I guess. And really not being able to shift quick enough as the market changes. So once COVID hit, we lost $50,000 in revenue first week. A bunch of big sales blew apart, and not being and living in fear for a couple weeks and not knowing what to do and leaning way back. I have young kids, they're all at home, and so it's a stressful time, but this creates opportunities, right? So now step back and say, okay, now where's the opportunity and what's coming? There's 4 million mortgages in default right now, or in forbearance. So there's something coming, and it's not here yet, but it's going to be. So keep your eye on that and see, where are people moving from? Where are they moving to?
Yeah.
They're coming to Boise. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah. So you are the president of Boise Investor Club. So tell us more, how many members you have and how frequently you meet. You shared that you meet second Thursday every month.
We meet. We have a once a month meeting, and I'm not going to do that until we can do that safely. But we meet weekly on Zoom. So anybody in the country is welcome to join. At 9 a.m. on Mountain Standard Time on Zoom, and there's over 1,000 members in the group. Usually we have 15 to 25 people on the call, and I've if you go on Meetup, you can find our group. I record the calls and I post them on Patreon. So we've got an interview with an attorney on there, and one of my old coaches, and some really good content, so you can get an idea of what's happening in our market here. But the calls are free, so you're welcome to come join.
Understood. As we are about to wrap up, Kevin, as I promised, it will be short and quick. What would you say as a final word to real estate investors who are watching this right now?
I would say, if you're interested in our market, reach out to me, and I'd be happy to, show you what's here and what's coming, and what our market's doing, because it is definitely going straight up right now.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to share your link to Meetup, so that way they can actually. Just for group on Meetup, it's called Boise Investor Group, Real Estate Education and Networking on Meetup.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Thank you so much, Kevin. I appreciate being a guest on the Growth Hacking Show on the behalf of our team and Growth Hacking Show. We really appreciate you. This is Muhammad Siddique signing off from Atlanta. All good wishes.